Okay, let's get right down to it. This is my next movie review. It's been a while since my last one, but just been really busy with my new job, so I haven't had time to do much of anything other than work. But I'm back, and I'm going to review the movie I just saw recently, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel's newest film, and it is freaking awesome. For those of you who don't know, it's about kind of these heroes in the Marvel Universe that aren't that well known. There's Groot, who's this tree-like kind of figure, like a living tree with a face and everything. There's Gamora, who's this green-skinned kind of humanoid alien. There is Dax the Destroyer, who's this big, huge guy, you know, with big muscles and everything. There's Rocket the Raccoon, who is a very, like, he looks like a raccoon, but he kicks ass. He has this huge gun that he uses, and he's an expert with bombs and weaponry and all that. And then there is Star-Lord. I can't remember his real name in the film, and he's a human being who was taken away by a spaceship when he was just a little boy, shortly after his mother passes away. So don't want to give too much away, but this movie is the perfect blend of sci-fi and comedy. The only other movie I can compare it to is Marvel's Avengers. It's definitely in the same spirit as that film, but it's even funnier than that movie. The jokes are really great in it. Like, it's kind of got this humor to it where it'll be like a really serious situation, and then suddenly something really hilarious will just happen. A good example of that is the character of Star-Lord. At the beginning of the film, he's walking through this really hostile-looking planet, and suddenly he just starts to sing and dance. All the jokes in the film work really well. The action in the film is top-notch. It's such a great movie. I mean, it's hard for me to really know what to say about it, because it's just so good that it's kind of one of those movies you just have to experience for yourself. It almost defies definition. Maybe I should just talk about the characters a little bit. Groot's a wonderful character. He's this big talking tree. All he says throughout the entire film is, "I am Groot." But in spite of that, he is one of the most utterly charming and wonderful characters I've ever seen. Gamora is, you know, kind of a really tough alien who doesn't say much. She has kind of a tragic backstory. You find out that they all do in a way. But she's this really tough woman who takes no nonsense, and she's played like really well by Zoe Saldana. And Bradley Cooper does the voice of Rocket in the film. Rocket is my favorite character, and I think a lot of people's favorite character. He is absolutely hilarious. I mean, there's one scene where he just says, "yeah." And those of you who've seen the film will know what I mean, but that's all he has to say. I mean, he is this gun-toting badass raccoon, and he is so funny. He has the best one-liners in the whole movie. You know, he's kind of got this moody side to him, but he's also very charming and charismatic, and yes, he's a talking raccoon, but it just works. You know, he is by far the best character in the whole movie, as far as I'm concerned. Dax is a very simple-minded character. He's played by a wrestler. I can't remember the name of the wrestler that plays him, although I do know Vin Diesel plays Groot. You know, does all the motion capture and stuff. Dax the Destroyer is just this big kind of hulking alien. He's not that intelligent, but he's really cool. Like, I like him a lot. And I think I mentioned Gamora already. Who's the other character? And I mentioned Star-Lord too, who is kidnapped from planet Earth, and he's really, like, he is the human in the story, like in the group of them. The rest of them are aliens. So the story is basically, you know, it's nothing new. The story, it's very similar to what Marvel has done in the past. They're all after this object, as they are in the Avengers and every other movie that they they've ever been in. But the object they're after is this, like, a little fleck. It's like a little stone, but it's it holds like immense power. Like the power of the universe is held within this tiny little stone. And there's this bad guy that's after the stone because he wants to use it to control the universe and destroy all these planets and everything. The villain in this, I have to say, was not that impressive. He wasn't funny like the other characters were. Like, the movie is an all-out comedy. It's like an action comedy. But he really kind of doesn't really seem to fit in. And he's kind of your typical villain, you know, like, I will cleanse your planet and destroy you all, and all this kind of stuff. I didn't find him particularly scary either. But, I mean, other than that, the movie's freaking awesome. I would give it a 4 out of 5. I don't usually rate films, but maybe I'll start rating them each time I do a review. It seems like maybe it is better to give it a rating. I personally would give it a 4 out of 5. It's not quite as good as the Avengers, but almost. I mean, it's a very close second, in my opinion. The musical score is really good in the movie. It's kind of like an 80s soundtrack. You know, Star-Lord in the film is a child of the 80s, and, you know, he always is listening to his Walkman, and just really great tunes, you know. It's just a really great movie. Like I said, it almost defies explanation. You just have to go and see it for yourself. There are moments in the movie that are very emotional, too. I mean, I was surprised by how much I teared up during this movie. There's one scene in particular with Groot, which I won't get too much into because I don't want to give it away, but he does something to protect all the other people in his team, and it's very moving and profound what he does. And right at the very end of the movie, too, there's a really amazing moment with all of the Guardians of the Galaxy together doing something extraordinary. They all come together to, you know, defeat great evil, and it's really awesome what they do. The special effects in the movie are awesome, right up there with Marvel's Avengers once again, with how awesome they are. Really amazing planets, landscapes. I really liked the way the ships look, like the technology, the spaceships, the guns, all that stuff looked in the film. It's unique. It's not, you know, it doesn't look like every other sci-fi film, the way the technology looks in it. It is quite unique and interesting looking. So, technically, I think the movie is absolutely brilliant. Most of it's CG, as you can clearly tell when you watch it, but it's really, really good CG. I mean, it works really well, and it looks fantastic. The movie's just a really great, exciting popcorn film. If you're a sci-fi fan, if you're a Marvel fan, you are going to absolutely love this film. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be in theaters much longer, so... And I highly recommend seeing it in 3D, because that is the best way to see this movie. It just looks so good in 3D. You know, 3D doesn't always work for all movies. It depends on how the 3D is done and what the movie looks like and all kinds of different things. But, you know, 3D really works in this one. It's like there's a real sense of depth perception, but also lots of things coming out of the screen at you, and it just works really well. So, I recommend seeing it in 3D if you can. And I'm definitely going to be getting a Rocket t-shirt. And I just want to get the word "yeah" on it. Like, he is such an awesome character, and I love all the characters, but I can see them actually doing a spin-off movie with just Rocket. Like, that's just how awesome a character he is. So, yeah, just the fact that he's a raccoon, but he's so kick-ass and so, you know, witty and everything. He's just a fascinating character, so... So yeah, it's a great movie, and I highly recommend you go see it. This was a shorter review than normal, but I don't think there's really much more I can say about this movie. So, go see it. It's just a great popcorn blockbuster. And my next review will be coming up very soon. I think I'm going to start reviewing some more horror films that I've been seeing recently. So stay tuned for that, okay? Have a good night, everyone, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.